Okay, hi everybody. Let's get started. We're gonna just start in a comfortable seat. Got some gals here with me today. I'm so happy to be here with women I love. I want everyone to start to ground themselves on the floor. Really start to visualize like the hands of Mother Earth holding you. Always there, always grounding us. We are constantly in a cradle. Maybe close down your eyes and just begin to shift from a person doing to a person being. So, whatever comes up in this hour practice, befriending it instead of resisting it, and not even getting tangled up in what that looks like or what that means, but just in the openness itself of the experience, knowing that we are coming closer to ourselves and deeper within. So close down those eyes. Feel the space between your eyes start to melt. Your jaw begin to relax. Your shoulders unhooking. Maybe even explore just finding a posture that's a little more slouched. Relaxing that belly. Relaxing your toes and your hands. And just visualizing yourself as a person who is relaxed and alert. And maybe just walking with me into this visualization of yourself at the edge of a cliff. Feel your toes curl over the edge. Feel the wind blowing through your hair. Maybe feel your heartbeat quicken with the fear of what's below. And then notice the way your breath is still holding the pace of your life. How it hasn't left you. Maybe begin to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. And on the exhale, unhooking another part of your body where there's a pocket of tension. And we're still on the edge of the cliff. Maybe you look down. Maybe you bring both your arms out like you're gonna fly. Bringing your awareness back to your breath and how it hasn't left you, and that this means you, even on the edge, are alive, awake and alive, aware, awake and alive. Where can you soften on the edge? Where can you find ease in the great tension that is fear? Where can you let what needs to rise in you rise? The sensations of our body, they are teaching us where to go and where to breathe and what to allow to open in us. Even the fear, even the grief, even the stress and the effort. And come back to your breath and let it be easeful. Let it flow how your breath flows. And just bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. And once more, look over that edge and fill yourself with that warmth, that sense of pride, and the fact that you stayed with the edge, that you didn't shy away, and that you are alive. You can step away from the edge now and really bring your awareness into your body. Maybe start to find a gentle sway side to side. Here is a beautiful chance, though there will be many, to set an intention for this hour on your floor, this hour together. Maybe it's simply to continue to bring your awareness to your jaw and relaxing that. Or maybe it is to send love to a part of yourself that you've been shaming. Or maybe it is to slow down, to give yourself this hour and to not feel guilty about it. Or maybe when the guilt arises, to let it come, to let it rise, and to meet it as a friend who welcomes. You don't slam the door, and keeping that door open to whatever needs to enter. You are safe, you are held, and you are not alone. And making your way on your back, you can leave your eyes closed. You can leave your eyes closed for this whole damn practice if that feels good to you. And starting to feel the earth against your back, your feet flat on the floor. And we're just going to start to do some small sways back and forth with our knees. They're like these mini windshield wipers. Today's practice is not yin, and it's not vinyasa, and it's not Bikram, and it's really an amalgamation of somatic exercises, polyvagal poses in yoga. And so I want you to take this moment as we're swaying gently back and forth on our sacrum to let go of any expectations of yourself or of this practice, to let go of what you think is to come, to stop searching in the future or dipping back into the past of what you know, and to meet yourself here as a beginner, as a student, as a teacher, as someone who was wounded, as someone who is capable of transformative healing. And continue that sway
food or schedule for your food. And pausing in stillness. Notice where you're holding and let the earth hold it instead. And now press your lower back into the floor, tailbone tilting slightly up, like that tip of your coccyx tilting up toward the sky. And then relax it and return to the natural curve of your spine. Again, this is a subtle movement. Again, tilting so the full spine, lower spine lays flat, and then relaxing back to your natural arch. And moving through here, and the rock of your tailbone, a little massage of your sacrum. Keep moving through this. I'm going to talk you through our breath practice. We're going to do a three-part breath. So the first one is inhaling through your nose and then exhaling through your mouth with like a sound, a little constriction in the back of your throat, almost like a Darth Vader breath. And then the second breath is going to be an inhale and a deep sigh.
Allie,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I can't, when you're laying down, it's muffled where I can't really hear what you're saying, but
Oh,
I didn't know if that's just for me. So I
no, it
just wanted
must.
to make you aware of that.
I love you. Thank you, Amanda. Are you guys tilting your pelvises? Could you hear that?
Hmm. I made it
Shit.
out.
Okay. Okay, so you're still tilting your pelvises. Can you hear me now? Good. Okay.
Yes,
So,
that is better.
okay, thank you, dear. So we're now moving into a three-part breath. You're gonna move now back into your windshield wipers as I talk us through this breath. The breath is gonna be an inhale through the nose and an exhale out the mouth with a slight constriction in the back of your throat, like a second breath is an inhale and a deep sigh. And the third is an inhale in horse lips, trying to relax that jaw and that mouth and like a horse. So you all are muted, so you can just really go all in on this, inhaling with that Darth Vader sort of inhaling in a deep sigh, and then inhaling in horse lips, and continue moving through that. And then I want you to switch now to your pelvic tilts. So you're tilting your pelvis so that your lower back is laying flat on the earth, and then returning to your natural arch of your spine. And again, laying that back flat and returning to your natural arch. You're going to move through this a few times and then back to your windshield wipers a few times, all while moving through these breath practices. And I'm going to be quiet for a time. And I want you to just keep hydrating between the windshield and the pelvic tilt in your breath. And if any of this doesn't feel good, let it go and listen to what does and do that. One more round of those 3 breaths. Finish whatever your round you're on and then do another. And continue your sway side to side and then forward and back. And when you're ready, we're going to meet in a seat. You can place your hands behind your hamstrings and rock and roll the length of your spine, or you can just meet me however it feels good to get there. Taking a moment here. And then left ear to left shoulder, extending that right arm out long. Returning at any time to whichever breath felt the most nourishing. Right arm behind back and tilting your chin up toward the sky and taking an inhale and an exhale here. And then tilting chin down toward your left shoulder, moving on a diagonal axis and taking an inhale and an exhale here. And then continuing to move that way, tilting up toward the sky, down toward your shoulder, really lubricating the central place of the vagus nerve, a place we hold a lot of tension, and a place we have all of the power to create space simply with our breath. When you find a tight pocket, you can stop and take a full inhale and exhale, or if it feels good, continue to move this way. And if it feels right, beginning to bring more organic movement to that neck, more of a sway or a figure eight. And then coming back to center and unwrapping that arm. Right ear, right shoulder, left arm extends long. Mm. Wrap arm behind back. Tilt your chin up toward the sky. A full inhale and exhale. Mm. And chin down toward right shoulder. Full inhale and exhale. Maybe giving voice to that breath and moving through that diagonal at your own pace. Pausing and breathing, and just imagine that the air is creating space in the places that have become compressed. Because that's exactly what's happening. And then bringing some more organic movement where that feels good. And then coming back to neutral, resting both hands on knees. Feet flat to the earth, hands on knees. You're going to press into the spine, navel really rounding back into the spine. If it feels better to stay in this seated posture, you can explore that too. If you really want to sort of hold on to your knees and see how that feels, you can try both, experiment. And just take a full round of breath there. Chin toward your chest. Maybe you feel some heat, not chasing that sensation, but really being present with that sensation. And by chasing, I mean not trying to intensify it in any way, just being with how it is. Maybe it feels good to sway a little side to side in that rounded shape. And then coming into that cow, really opening that heart forward, spreading across the collarbone, shoulder blades just sort of energetically going to kiss. And a full round of breath here. How can you be expansive without being tense? Can you relax into your expansion? Whew, that's a hard question for me. And again, rounding and an inhale fully and an exhale fully. Maybe making a ha sound and expanding and softening in your expansion. Let that breath help soften you. And again, round. Really tucking that chin, really accentuating that round in every vertebrae. Feel it in your ribs, And expanding forward. Think about that jaw. Think about that face. Let them relax. And then just taking a moment in neutral. Again, maybe finding that sway to help you sort of remember what neutral is. Oh, if you've taken class with me before, you know this is like my favorite thing ever. So we're going to do 8 rounds of this, which is more than we usually do. First, just rub that chest. Bring both hands there and just like really feel what that's holding. The practice has a couple of parts, but it's really easy. All you do is you press into your chest, you pull down on your chest, you look up at the sky, and you jut out your lower jaw. Oh. And then you release. It's creating this opening all through here. And again, you press, pull, look up, and jut out. And relax. Again, press, pull, look, and jut. Relax. And again, press, pull, look, jut out that jaw. This time, make a sound. And relax. Again, on your own, maybe finding a little sway of the neck or the upper body. And release. You have 3 more on your own. Take what time you need. If you just want to hold one for a really long time, that's okay. Beautiful. And whenever you're ready, just returning to center, really noticing any changes. Maybe seeing what arises sometimes in those tight pockets of tension. The fascia is really good at helping us protect. And what it is protecting, it can bind our emotions. So when we start to open and release, it might not make any sense, but you might just want to bawl your eyes out or just like crack up and to laugh. So I just encourage you to, like, whatever that impulse is, like, let that impulse come. The more we let it come, the more it'll trust that it can, and the deeper we can get. And if it's scary, that's okay. You just come right back here. Know you're safe. Smell the turf, or smell the cats, or smell your kids. Cheerios on the floor. All of you are in very different life places, which is so beautiful. And only I know that. You're going to lean to the side now and take a full round of breath. If it feels good to really plant that left hand and reach, you can. Feel that hip on the right jutting out. Feel that compression on the left and that opening on the right. Maybe tilting your head up toward the sky. Or maybe tilting it down if that feels better. Or maybe you continue moving through that axis where we started in the beginning and rolling it around. Visualizing each rib getting air, creating space, and back up. Nice and easy, and over to the other side. And again, left. Returning to that breath, that 3-part breath of the hiss or the simmer, the sigh, and the horse lips. Mm. Maybe it feels good on your next one to sort of melt into the middle and round, and then open center, and then come back over to the other side, and then melt and round center, and open center, and come over to the other side. Again, really listening to what feels good. And whenever you're ready, just kind of coming back to that neutral space. Maybe touching like face, maybe rubbing jaw or temples or earlobes. Maybe squeezing the back of your neck really tenderly. And then we're going to begin to body roll. So coming forward and rounding back and letting your neck get involved. So letting this be like really primal and organic. Like we were just alone in the forest somewhere. Maybe someone's about to give birth. Who knows? These are just my dreams. They don't have to be yours. Feeling that breath. And trusting what's here. Switching sides. Maybe your arms really want to get involved. Maybe they feel like they need a little movement. Maybe not. 2 more deep breaths in these body rolls. Returning to that center. And really feeling how we can be pulled and we can be moved and we can also bring ourselves back and return. Plant that right foot. Nope, this is left. Left foot on the ground. Right hand is going to come behind you and not directly behind your bum. It's going to be like pretty far out at an angle. And you're going to put your left hand on the top of left knee, sort of just push out into that. If you want to raise hip off the ground, you certainly can. I prefer to stay grounded today in it and feel that hip being spacious. And then moving to the other side, right foot plants in front, and you just push against it. The beautiful thing about not naming a pose is that you don't have a perception of what it's supposed to be. So you can do what yoga was intended for, which is listening to your body. And you're just going to move between those. Maybe moving that neck again in a figure 8. Just one more each side, wherever you are, no rush. And returning to center whenever you're ready. This one does have a name. It's called boat pose. We're going to come into a boat, lifting legs up off the ground. Hands are welcome to stay planted. You can straighten legs or keep them bent. You can also do like one leg at a time. And we're going to hold for a breath. And then we're going to come back down. We're going to inhale together. And on the exhale, we're going to jiggle our bellies. And we're going to pull back into boat. And we're going to inhale and exhale. Back, inhale. And let it go. You can feel that effort. You can feel that stability. And then you can feel your capacity to let it all go again, boat. And inhale to jiggle. You're going to move at your own pace now. I want you to feel your strength and your core. And I do mean the core of you, the spirit that is alive in you and your fire. I do not mean your six pack. And then I want you to feel how you can let it all go. You can be soft. You can be held. You can let love in. 2 more rounds, all on your own, whatever you need. Okay, my dears, you're gonna sit back on your toes. So you're in toe pose, all 10 toes. I like to get my little pinkies involved. This is the fiery part of our practice. The fiery part is not as much as the cooling part, so just stay with me. You're gonna stay in your toe pose. You're gonna breathe, feel the effort in your feet, and let everything else relax. I want the only intensity to be in your toes, and I want you to feel how everything else can relax. Two more breaths. What breath do you need? Maybe you're feeling a strong impulse to shake your head no or yes. And release those feet and sit back on them. And you're going to roll up and open. And then you're going to bring your wings and bring them down your thighs and come forward. And then you're going to bring your hands up your thighs and you're going to open. And then you're going to bring them down your thighs and stretch out. And you're going to go quick. And you're going to inhale on the way down. And you're going to exhale on the way up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Ha, ha, ha. And you're going to stop where you are. And you're going to come back to softness. You're going to feel that heartbeat. Tuck your toes underneath, hands on the floor, head can hang heavy. Open your knees. Close your knees. Open your knees. Close your knees. And we're going to do this with breath and we're going to pick up the pace. So it's inhale, open, exhale, close. Two more. And relax. You can just lay your head on your hands and take a minute in a closed knee, really bundling child's pose. Mm. Coming into all fours. You're going to inhale in a neutral spine. And on the exhale, you're going to let your chest drop to the floor and your scapula like really come out. Amanda, you know these well. They're called a scap push up if you work out. So you're going to inhale to neutral, push that ground away, and then exhale and let that chest fall. You can bend slightly into your elbows. Don't overthink it. It's supposed to feel good. Inhale, exhale, and on the exhale, you're going to make a ha sound. You can widen your hands if you want. You can even widen your knees if you want to be in a more primal stance. And you're going to inhale, neutral, exhale, let it go. Inhale, inhale, let it go at your own pace. Four more. Beautiful. Returning to neutral, bringing your knees a little bit behind you so you're not in a perfect all fours. You're going to inhale, elbows straight, exhale, elbows bend, inhale, elbows straight, exhale, elbows bend, and inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Stay in the exhale. Stay with those elbows bent. Let that head be heavy. You can even rock back into more of a child's pose. And take a full round of breath here. Beautiful. Meeting back in all fours. Right leg straightens behind you. Toes are into the earth. And you're just going to do some rocks there. Inhaling and exhaling. Rocking. Letting your breath return to that really parasympathetic sighing breath. Our bodies know that if we are sighing, that we are safe. And then crossing that right leg over to the left, crossing behind you, and continuing that rock for a couple. And then you're going to look over your left, look at those toes behind you, and then right, moving laterally, feeling those obliques, but moving with intention and breath. And returning back to all fours and moving into the other side, rocking with those toes behind you. Maybe you even want to explore switching the orientation so your fingers are pointing back toward you for a little wrist mobilization. And then lifting leg, crossing it over to the right, rocking there. And then looking over that right back toward your toes, and then left and right. And really just wagging that tail. If you come to a tight pocket, staying and breathing. And coming back into all fours. And coming into your child's pose or whatever is the most restful for you now. Maybe placing a hand on the back of your neck. Sort of like letting your body meet your body. Having that moment of, oh, right, we're all connected. I can help myself soothe. I can choose to pause. I can be on the edge. Sliding down onto your belly, feet wider than your mat, using both hands as a pillow, resting that forehead. And we're gonna do 5 minutes, which is a long time, but this is the time we need to let the somatic shaking do its good, beautiful work of release and rejuvenation. So you're going to be in this crocodile pose, and you're just going to rock your hips side to side to side to side. And you can start really, really slow and then quicken your pace. Let your feet be lax. If your mind is really wandering and racing, it's really not your job to scold it or shut it down. It's just to notice that it's racing or wandering. And maybe to say, come back here, come back here, come back to the smell, the sound, the sensations of the body, the flow of the breath. Come back here, come back here. Release any thoughts of what you expect to happen and just be here with what is. 2 more minutes to nourish ourselves here. Oh, deep and long and big can your exhales get, and how full and long and emptying. Just play with that breath. And whenever you're ready, we're going to come into Shavasana, our final resting pose, and you can just come to stillness and stay belly down. Actually, let's all do this first. Let's stay belly down. Come to stillness. Take your hands down by your sides, palms facing up, and turn left ear onto mat. Let the earth hold your head. Feel the relief wash over your neck and your shoulders from all the holding they've been doing. And switch your right ear really slowly over so your right ear is laying on the mat. See how heavy you can let your head get. See how much trust you can have in what's holding you. Even let the earth sort of, the pressure of the earth into your belly and your pelvis and your hips. Let it be like a massage. Let that be a tender pressure of which will lead to greater release. And whenever you're ready, just coming into whatever your final resting pose looks like, belly down or on your back or curled in a fetal position. And wherever you are, just giving yourself these final couple of minutes to soak in all that you've given to yourself by just being with yourself and letting what rises rise without swatting it down. And I'm going to end with a reading and going to close you out in Shavasana. So, this is a reading from Martha Beck. The instructions are there. They're there inside the rage. They're there inside the dejection and the limpness and the suffering. The suffering is teaching you the instructions for your life. And here's the cool thing, nobody else has them. The only way you're going to ever find them is if you go in and get them from inside yourself. Your instructions are nowhere else but inside you. Namaste. And I love you.